Hi, my name is Sarah, and today's class is called Yoga for Hippies. So in today, what this hippies means is it's a yoga class designed for anybody that needs a little extra love or attention to either or both of their hips. This could be hip stabilizing, hip flexibility, hip strengthening, or just taking the time to open the hips and working on your breath. So personally, I am awaiting a total hip replacement surgery, less than 2 weeks away. So for me, it's really important to keep the strength up, to keep the flexibility up, and also stay in tune with my breath, ultimately in tune with my body. So let this practice be whatever it might be for yourself, and you can go at your own pace. You can take breaks when you need. The only other recommendation, if your hips are pretty weak, perhaps a block or two would be useful. All right, we're going to get started at the top of the mat. Take your time to get there. We're starting in Tadasana, mountain pose, big toe mounds to touch, heels just a sliver apart. You can draw the shoulders up towards the ears, back and down, turning the palms to face open. Press down through the soles of the feet, and then think of zipping up through the inner thighs, toning the front of the thighs, and then lengthening the tailbone down. Find some length through the spine, reaching up through the crown of the head. And then start to breathe deeply. The inhale, you're pulling the breath up from the soles of the feet, all the way up and through the legs, up and through the spine, up and beyond the crown of the head. On the exhale, feel the breath descend back down through the spine, down and out through the legs, and then out through the soles of the feet, finding a sense of grounding. Feel free to close your eyes. We'll take 3 more cycles like this. Inhale, all the way up. And exhale, all the way down. If it's possible, keep the lips closed, breathing in and out through your nose. Inhale, maybe growing a little taller. And exhale, releasing the breath, pressing down and out through your feet. 1 more like that. Breathe in. And breath out. Continue with this even, steady breath throughout your practice. It's always your ultimate guide. Next, inhale, press through the feet, reach the arms up, look beyond the fingertips. On the exhale, we're going to soften the knees, hinge at the hips, fold forward, Uttanasana. Nice and slow, inhale, halfway lift. You can always take your hands to your shins and exhale to fold. We're going to rise all the way back up to standing, slight bend in through the knees, reach tall, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center, Tadasana, mountain pose. Strengthen through the legs, release the arms. And again, inhale, lift up, lengthen through both sides of the waist. Exhale, diving forward, leading with the heart. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out. This time, place the hands. We're going to step back to downward facing dog. Take your time to get there. You want your hands outer shoulder distance apart, fingertips spread wide, clawing and pawing the mat with your hands. Your hands are active. You're pressing down and away, almost like you want to rip your mat in two. Shoulders fall away from the ears, and steadying your gaze at one fixed point between the inner thighs, the kneecaps, or the shins. Same even, steady breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more like that. All right, we're going to lift the right leg. So lifting on the inhale, picking up the right heel. Keep your hips square. Let's see if we can keep equal weight distribution through the hands. Just working on stability here. We're keeping the hips square. 1 more breath. Looking forward, we'll step the right foot to right thumb. Lower the left knee to the earth. Low lunge. We'll reach the arms up and overhead. See if you can slide the hips forward and down. Sending the breath to where you're feeling the most sensation. Good. Next inhale, let's take the left fingertips to the top left-hand corner of the mat. We're twisting open to the right, stacking shoulders one on top of the other, and then reaching tall, really active through the right hand. If you want a little bit more fire, you can pick up your back knee, spiraling the left side of your rib cage up towards the ceiling. One more breath here. Good. Release on your exhale. We're going to spin the left heel down. So you're thinking of warrior two legs, deep bend through the right knee, 90-degree angle. We're going to walk our hands out into the left. Think of the hands being as wide as they are in down dog. Lengthen through the arms and then sink the heart towards the earth. Think of tacking the outer right sit bone back and in and sealing the outer edge of your left heel down. Deep breaths here for 3 and 2. The last one. All right, we're going to walk the hands back forward to frame the front foot. Spin to the ball of the left foot, lower left knee. Ardha Hanumanasana or half splits. Crawl those right toes forward. Flex the right toes towards your nose and then lift and lengthen through the spine. On your exhale, see if you can hinge a little deeper. Bringing your chin a little closer to your shin, pressing out through the right big toe mound. Don't forget about the breath. And one more breath here. We're going to scoot the right heel in, plant down through the right foot. Hands are planting to frame your front foot. Tuck the toes. Pick up the right leg, open and stack. Right hip on top of the left this time. So we want the kneecap pointing right towards the ceiling. The left leg, my grounded leg, has a little micro bend. And then from here, matching these circular movements with our breath. So we inhale, finding a little bit more space in through the joint. And the exhale, the knee comes back down and in. Inhales, we widen, lift up. Exhale, knees comes back down and in. And then let's reverse those circles. Again, use the breath to find the pace here. Spread through the right toes. Good. Now square the hips, lift up through the right heel. Inhale. On the exhale, bring the right knee in towards your chest. Curl and round. Lower right knee to the floor. Walk your hands forward, about 1-2 hand distances forward. We'll pick up the left leg. Low ribs tack in, the sternum casts forward. The back of the neck is nice and long. From here, we're going to take the left knee up towards the left tricep. And then kick it back and tap the toes over towards the right, gazing to your back toes. Looking forward, knee crunches up towards the left tricep. And then we inhale it back, tap to the right. One more like that. Exhale as we crunch. Inhale, kick it back, and tap to the right. This time, we're bringing that left knee up towards the tricep. We're going to extend the left leg out. Slowly lower to the earth. Take the right hand just underneath your sternum, and then open up through the left arm. Big inhale here. On the exhale, we'll thread the left arm underneath the right, just peeking underneath your armpit. Inhale as we open, and exhale as you thread under. Inhale, open. And exhale to thread under. Open back up one last time. Take left hand to left hip. Walk the right hand to the top right hand corner of the mat. From here, we're going to see if we can open and stack left hip on top of the right. Left heel squeezing to left glute. Maybe the left hand can catch the top of the left foot. And then we're going to see if we can kick our left foot into the left hand as we slingshot the heart forward. Look up, lean back for 3 and 2 and 1. Return to your tabletop position. Just check that the knees are in one line, hands are outer shoulder distance apart. The inhale, allow the belly to drop, pull the heart forward, lift through the sit bones, cow pose. Exhale, curl and round, cat pose. 3 more like that. Inhale. Just move with your own breath. and exhale. Last time. Think of exaggerating the movements, opening through your spine. All right, tucking the toes, press down through the hands. Let's hover the knees just 2 inches off the mat, starting to light up through the core, creating stability, creating a strong foundation. Just gazing towards the top edge of your mat, the heels are lifted. Try to find that same steady, even breath for 3 and 2. Good. On 1, the hips move up and back, downward facing dog. Feel free to take a cleansing breath in through the nose and a sigh out through the mouth. Breathe in. Breathe out. Moving to the left side, the left leg is going to lift up, lifting from the inner left thigh, spread through the left toes. Magnetize the hands and forearms towards one another. Try to keep your left foot about hip height. Feeling steady and balanced. 1 more breath. We inhale to look forward. Exhale, left foot to left thumb. We're lowering the right knee to the earth. Low lunge. Try to slide the hips forward and down. Lift through the arms. Lengthen through both sides of the waist. Feeling a scissoring of the legs, left hip drawing back, and the right hip is wrapping forward. Good. 1 more breath. The right hand comes to the right hand corner of the mat. Option to tuck your back toes. We're finding the twist open to the left. So feel free to lift up the back knee if you want a little extra heat. Tack the left femur back and into the left hip socket. The right femur is wrapping forward as you rinse and twist open. Good. Left hand to the inside of left heel. The right heel is grounding down. So either heel to heel alignment or heel to arch. So this is our down dog lunge. We want the front leg bent to 90 degrees. And then we're walking our hands out to about 2 o'clock. Hands are nice and wide, lengthening through the arm bones and then melting the chest towards the floor. Keep breathing. Back leg is strong. You're zipping up through the inner right thigh. And trying to avoid jutting out the left hip. So tucking that left bum underneath you. Last breath. Great. Let's walk the hands back in and then forward to frame the front foot. Spin to the ball of the right foot. Plant the hands. We're going to lift the left leg up. Open and stack left hip on top of the right. Kneecap pointing towards the ceiling. Our right leg, the grounded leg, has a soft micro bend through the right knee. When you're ready, adding in those hip circles. So thinking about oiling up your joint with the breath. And then we'll switch it the other way. So inhale as we lift up and widen. Exhale, it comes down. Good. Extend the left leg up and back. Spread through the toes. And then from here, take the left knee in towards the chest, curl and round. Left knee lowers just underneath the heart. Let's walk the hands forward towards the top edge of the mat. And then lift through the right leg. Navel hugs in towards the spine. Tailbone is lengthening here. Find the length on the inhale. Now exhale, knee crunches to upper right tricep. Inhale, kick back, and then tap the toes over to the left, gazing to your back foot. The exhale, we crunch. We inhale, we kick back, and tap over to the left. And crunch. Kick back and over to the left. This time, knee comes towards the upper right tricep. Extend the right leg. laterally out to the right, and then lower the foot down. Left hand comes underneath the heart. We're going to open up on the inhale. Keep the outer edge of the right heel anchored to the floor. Exhale as we thread underneath the left arm. Inhale as we open. And then exhale, thread under. Use the breath here. Open, expand. Dive under on the exhale. This time we're opening, holding it here, right hand to right hip. Left hand can come a little wider if you like. We're going to open and stack the right hip on top of the left. This one's a little more challenging for me, but I'm going to give it a go. So maybe right hand comes to the top of your right foot, kicking into the hand, leaning back, sending your heart forward. Back to tabletop position. So 2 options here. You can flow through your cat and cow, just like we did before, or you could take an inversion. So either dolphin pose, downward dog is also an inversion. Your dolphin pose, you're on the forearms, the knees are bent, the hips are lifted. Down dog would be another option. If you want to play with your forearm stand, you could always play with that. So we're tiptoeing the feet in, gazing down below the tip of our nose. As we tiptoe in, you might be able to lift up one leg, perhaps the other joins. Squeezing the legs in towards one another, spreading the toes. Knees come down. Untuck the toes, child's pose. Reach the arms forward. So as my hip joint is becoming more and more stiff and less cooperative, child's pose is even challenging for me. So if you need a little extra support in child's pose, blocks are great. You can always take the blocks between your feet, maybe double stacking if you like. Another option is not taking the knees as wide and then allowing the hips to sink. The blocks are holding up the hips. And then if you can't take the forehead to the earth, you can always stack your fists and allow the forehead to rest onto your fists. Just feeling a sense of release, a sense of grounding, and letting go. One more breath. All right. Coming back to downward facing dog, feel free to take any movements along the way, any extra transitions or postures. Remembering that this is your time to move. You're always free. You can always add on, customize, or even take away. And then finding that breath again. Let's work on developing that even, steady flow. I think of inhaling to a 3 or 4 count. And exhale that same 3 or 4 count. Your next inhale, gaze forward. Exhale as you step or lightly hop right to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Rise all the way up to standing, press to the feet, reach tall, hands to heart center, Tadasana pose. All right, we're going to adjust the feet so that our big toe mounds are touching, little sliver of a space between the heels, dropping into Utkatasana, our chair pose, sending the weight into the heels. We lift through the arms, squeezing through the inner thighs. The toes are light. The tailbone is lengthening. Find a challenge here as you try to lower the hips a little deeper. And we're going to pulse here, trying to maintain equal weight through the feet. Square hips and steady breath. Pulse for 5 and pulse for 4 and pulse and 3 and pulse and 2 and pulse. Last one. We're going to stay low here. Allow the arms to reach by your side as you glue the ribs to your thighs. We're going to pick up the left heel and then see if we can extend the left leg back for airplane pose. If this right hip is a little bit weak, or if you need a little extra support, blocks are great. You can always place the blocks at the top of your mat. So airplane can also look like this, which I'll be doing on the other side. So if you are in airplane, we want to try to find the heel, the hips, the heart, and the head all on the same plane. Take one more breath. And then slowly lower the left foot down. Crescent lunge, our high lunge position. Let's bend into both of the knees to begin. Keep the hips square. Try to keep the hips low and then work your back leg to straight. Reach the arms up and overhead. All right, hands come through heart center. Let's anchor the left heel down. Warrior two, extend the arms. And watching that your ankles are falling just underneath your wrists. Hips are nice and wide, shoulders relaxed. Finding your drishti, that steady gaze just beyond the right middle finger. Hold it here for 3. Deep breathing, 2. On 1, exalted warrior, right palm reaches up to the sky. Left hand slides down the back leg, trying to create a little more space between the right hip crease and right armpit. Try to bend a little deeper through the right knee. We're going to come through center on the inhale, side angle, exhale. Blocks are useful here, so you could always take the right hand onto a block, high level, medium level, or low level, up to you. Extended variation. We lower the left arm just in line with the left shoulder, leading with the thumb like you're slicing the air, allowing the left tricep alongside your left ear. Last breath. Looking down to the earth, remove any props you had. Turn the right toes in slightly, skandasana, so lateral lunge. We're thinking of the thigh bones widening and then rolling the left shoulder open. You could also take the right hand in front of the right shin and then open up through the left arm. Good. Let's take this to the other side. Transitioning the weight into the left leg. Left toes draw open at about 45 degrees. The right big toe is pointing directly to the sky. Option to open and extend the arms. Good. Hands come down to the earth. Setting up for a wide-legged forward fold. So the toes come in slightly narrower than the heels. Inhale as you come into halfway lift. And then exhale, folding. Your choice with the hands. You can walk heels of the hands in line with the heels of the feet. Alternatively, walk or slide the hands to the outer lines of the legs, cupping the heels or the shins, whatever you can grab. Give the head a shake. Allow the neck to be loose. Wiggle your bottom jaw. Relax through your jaw. All right, hands come back in front. Inhale, halfway lift. We're spinning all 10 toes back forward. From here, we're lowering the left knee back to the floor, finding our low lunge. Untuck your back toes. Take your hands, lacing the fingers, and press into your front thigh. So this is a challenging one. It's kind of fun, but not really. So you want to squeeze through the inner thighs. You're going to do your best pressing your back knee up. Really working on strengthening through the hips. There's a lot of shaking involved. Hold it for 3 and 2. Lower on 1. Left knee comes down to the floor. Crawl your right toes forward. Flex right toes towards your nose. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Deep breaths to the back of the right leg. All right, scooting the right heel in, plant down through right foot. Hands framing front foot. We're going to open and stack right hip on top of the left. We've been here before. You can stay or you could take it into wild thing pose. So we're rolling to the outer edge of the left heel, anchoring down through left arm, left shoulder. Slowly, we continue to open that right hip, and then maybe the right toes touch down almost underneath your hips. Right shoulder opens. And then we expand through the chest. Maybe the head drops back, lifting through the hips. One more inhale. Now on the exhale, looking to where we want to go, plant the right hand down. Extend the right leg up. Inhale. We're going to cross the right knee to the upper left tricep. Slide it down to the wrist. Zip it up to the tricep. Down to the wrist. Zip up, down, and up, and down. One more time, up. Good. Now thread your right leg way out to the left, and then lower your hips onto the earth, or rather your right hip. You'll want to crawl your hands forward, try to keep your back toes tucked, and then work on journeying over to the right side any amount. If you want a little deeper, you can come onto the forearms. So working into an outer hip stretch as well as a twist through the spine. Allow the heart to melt down towards the earth and try to slow down your breath. Okay, from here we're going to walk the hands back underneath our shoulders, adjusting to deer pose. So we're lining up our knees to 90-degree angles. Our front shin is parallel with the front edge of the mat. The left shin is parallel to the long edge of the mat. Flex through the toes, lift through the chest, lower the chest over the right thigh, and then try to slide your heart a little closer towards your heel or your foot. Breathe deeply into the outer right hip. Soften through the shoulders. Relax the space between the brows. Let the breath be healing and nourishing. All right, the inhale will lift through the chest, spinning both of the legs forward. Our seat is about halfway up on the mat. Tip yourself back. Try to line up the shins with the ceiling. If you feel steady here, release the arms. Option to extend the legs. Navasana boat pose. Let's see if we can hold it here for 5, 4, no tension in the face, and 3, 2. All right, on 1, cross at the ankles, plant the hands. Option to take a vinyasa here, so you can step back, move through chaturanga. Always welcome to tap the knees down if you like. We come back to the home base, downward facing dog, 5 cycles of breath. If you need a little extra rest, drop to the knees, child's pose. If you want to play, go ahead and play. Two more breaths wherever you are. We're going to prepare, look forward on the inhale. Exhale, step or lightly hop right to the top of the mat. Breathe in, halfway lift. And exhale to fold, head heavy. Press through the feet, rise up. Hands back through heart center, release the arms, Tadasana pose. We'll prepare for chair. Once again, big toe mounds to touch. We're sitting the hips low. As we extend the arms up, we don't want this internal rotation of the arms. Palms face open. We're sending the weight into the heels, navel to spine. Find that challenge. Finding that sweet spot here, and then adding those pulses for 5, and pulse, and 4, and pulse, and 3. Steady breath, pulse, 2, and pause. Last one, and pause. Stay low, hands by your side, palms face one another. See if you can bring the ribs to the thighs. This time we pick up the right heel and see if we can extend the right leg back. So unfortunately, my hip is a little weak for that. I'm going to use the blocks. So here, you're either taking your warrior 3 or airplane pose, alternatively L-shaped pose. Just working to square your hips in whatever you choose and find length through the spine, reaching the tips of the ears forward. Breathe for 3 and 2. Good. On 1, bending into the front leg. Let's step the right foot back, preparing for our high lunge, crescent lunge. Softening the back knee to sink the hips, trying to keep that and then press out through the right heel. Left shin is driving forward. Breathe for 3 and 2. Good. On 1, let's open to our warrior 2. So you might need to widen your stance a little bit. Heel to arch alignment or heel to heel. The arms span wide. Arms are long and strong. I'm always working to refine and adapt to warrior 2. I find it's always changing in my body. Next inhale, exalted warrior. Left palm reaches up and back, almost like you're painting the ceiling with your fingertips. Bend deeper through the left knee. Inhale. Stay on the exhale. We'll come back through center, breath in. Side angle pose. We want to stretch to the left side body. Option for your block here, which I'm going to choose. So you'd place the block just in front of the left heel. Weighting down through the arm, hand onto the block. The right arm extends up. And then if you want to take the extended variation, we're lowering the right arm in line with shoulder. Lead with the thumb. And then align that top arm alongside your top ear, rolling the heart open. Strong through the legs, steady through the breath. Good. Let's gaze down to the earth, lowering the hands to the inside of the front foot. You can turn the left toes in slightly, Skandasana. So remembering that the thighs, we want them to widen. The right big toe is pointing right up to the ceiling. So you have the choice here to stay as you are, maybe open the arms, half or full bind, whatever you like. Use the inhale to transition all the way to the other side. All right, so we're going to come into our wide-legged forward fold once again. I'm just going to switch places here so that you get a better view. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale to fold. So in this variation, 2 choices. You can work on opening through the shoulders by lacing the hands, pressing the knuckles out, and then dropping the head to the floor. Another option would be either tripod headstand or your traditional headstand. Tripod is likely most accessible for most beginners and those with tighter hamstrings. So first things first, you want to be able to lower the head to the earth. If that's not there, widen your feet. Okay, so once our feet are wide enough, we can lower to the crown of the head. We want our elbows at 90 degrees. Maybe we can take one knee on top of one tricep, the other knee on top of the other tricep, big toe mounds to touch. Equal weight through the head and the hands. I'm going to stack my knees on top of my hips and then maybe extend up. Squeezing through the inner thighs. My gaze is set at one fixed point. And I'll come down just the same way that I got in. Wherever you are, come back to that halfway lift, inhale. And then on the exhale, we're going to journey all the way back to the front of the mat, turning all 10 of our toes forward. Heart is moving forward. We lower the right knee to the earth, lacing the hands onto the front thigh. Press the thigh away from you, lean back, and we're going to start to lift through the back knee. So see, even if it lifts a millimeter, that's okay. Really strengthening for the hip. Just try to breathe for 3 and 2 and 1. All right, Hanumanasana half splits. Let's crawl the left toes forward. Flex the left toes towards the nose. Inhale as we lift and lengthen. Exhale as we fold. Scooting the left heel in. Plant down through left foot. Equal weight through the hands. We're going to open and stack left hip on top of the right. Soften through the right knee. If you want, add on wild thing pose. The right heel drops down. Press down through the right hand. And then maybe left toes trickle down just off of the mat. We're working on lengthening through right leg, bending into the left knee. Open through the chest. Inhale. And then exhale, looking to where you want to go. Extend the left leg high, breath in. Knee to upper right tricep, shifting the weight forward, shoulders on top of the wrist. Slide it down to your wrist. I know it's tricky. Knee to upper right, down to wrist. Upper right, down to wrist. Upper right. So let's try to keep our back toes tucked as we thread the left leg out to about 3 o'clock. We're lowering the left hip to the earth and then walking our hands over to the left. This can be a little tight. You can always lower blocks underneath the forearm or forearms. So keeping your back leg active, pressing out through the right heel. Breathing into the stretch and the twist. One more breath. All right. Release the blocks. Bending into the left knee or front knee. Deer pose. So our left shin is parallel to the front edge of the mat. Right shin parallel to the long edge of the mat. So finding that tall spine, we're going to lower the chest over the left thigh and then swing it over towards our front heel. So I personally find deer pose is much more accessible for my left hip instead of pigeon. So just keep that in mind as an alternate option in your hip openers. All right, we're going to lift the chest, swing our legs forward. Make sure that your seat is about halfway up on the mat. Coming back to Navasana, boat pose, lifting the chest. Let's parallel the shins to the ceiling, big toe mounds to touch. If you like, extend the arms. Maybe reach the legs up. Shoulders relax. Try closing your eyes, just really tuning into the breath for 5 and 4 and 3. Last 2. Good. On 1, we're slowly lowering to the earth for 5. Scoop the belly in. 4. Squeeze through the inner thighs. 3. Embrace all the shakes. 2. And release to the floor on 1. Bending into the knees. We're going to draw the right knee out and up towards the right shoulder. If this is too much in the hips and you've got too much tightness in your hip flexors, just go ahead and bend into the left knee. And drawing the right thigh across the body over to the left, you can cactus your right arm, even gaze to the right, finding a twist, also a beautiful stretch and opening through the outer right hip. Back to center, inhale. Exhale, release right foot to the floor. Left knee draws into the chest, avoiding the rib cage, bringing the left knee up towards the left shoulder. Option to extend the right leg long. Try to work belly breaths into this compression pose. When you're ready for the twist, releasing that left knee slightly, drawing left leg over to the right. So another helpful prop you can use here. I'm just going to turn the other way so you can see. For me, this twist is quite difficult. If you're finding that you're really holding yourself up and jeopardizing the twist, I'd recommend taking a block underneath your left thigh, even if you have to take it to the tallest level. And then at least you can relax into the twist. All right, come back to center. You can take both feet onto the floor. Realign your hips to center. Reaching through the inner lines of your legs, catch the outside of your feet, happy baby pose. Shoulders are heavy, working to lengthen through the spine and find a heaviness down through the sacrum. If you can't catch the outside of your feet, you could catch the outside of the shins or the ankles. Just trying to guide the knees a little deeper in towards the armpits, and it doesn't have to be much to feel that stretch. Back to center, the knees come in towards our chest. And we're going to end class today in our supine butterfly pose. So this again is helpful to have blocks, especially if you have tight hips or any issues with your hips. Just take the blocks a little lower than the hips, soles of the feet together, and it'll be up to you how you want to adjust the height of the blocks. Squeeze the shoulder blades together underneath your heart. And so this will be the final resting posture, acting as Shavasana today. If this isn't comfortable or you just prefer traditional Shavasana, no problem. Just extend the legs out, let the toes flop open. Ultimately, we want to achieve ultimate rest, so no effort required. Let the bones fall in towards the floor. Let the muscles start to drape away from the bones. Let the skin start to fall away from the muscle. Gravity takes over, just leaving your whole body alone. Just let it be. No controlling of the breath. Allow yourself to really soak in and absorb these last few moments of stillness. All right. So I encourage you to stay here as long as you possibly can. Don't be late for your job, though. If you have to go, find your way up. Just finding a comfortable seat, gathering the hands to the heart center, bowing chin to chest, honoring your practice, honoring your intentions, and honoring your body. It's the vehicle that carries us through this life. It gives us so much. Remember to give back. My light is your light, yours mine. May we all shine together. Namaste.